Hi everyone, Sean Gilliam here with Location Real Estate. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another episode of my monthly market update. We're going to be taking a look at local data for Boulder, Larimer, and Weld Counties. And then before we even get into that, I'll take a look at some national data just to kind of give you an idea of how things, price appreciation, those kinds of things are trending across the country. Before we get into that though, I want to point out that if you are thinking of buying or selling a home, I have my fall buyer and seller guides here. These are available. They have basic information for whatever you're doing, whether you're buying or selling a home, but it's also redesigned every quarter to be relevant to the current market that we're in. So it gives you some additional helpful tips so that you can make yourself ready as a buyer to write the best offers in consideration of what's going on in the current market. And same thing for sellers, so that you can have your home ready to get the most amount of buyers and get the highest price for your home. So if you want a copy of this, get in touch with me. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have. I'll send you a free copy of these. These are courtesy. You don't have to pay for them, obviously. So yeah, again, easy access for you to get these for yourself. Now I want to take a look at the data on the national level. As we take a look at this graph here, or this chart here, this shows price appreciation year over year through the second quarter. So the second quarter ends end of June. So this is showing price appreciation from end of June 2020 through end of June 2021. And as we can see here in this legend off to the right, home values that appreciated in 20% or more are in the red. So as you can see, our state of Colorado here, home values appreciated 20.1%. So we've seen some significant price appreciation across the board. And look it up here. I just want to point this out in Idaho, 37.1%. There's a good indication there that a lot of people are moving to Idaho, especially in the Boise area. It's a very intense market up there. So we've definitely seen some good price appreciation. I think that's going to taper off as we move forward through the next couple of years. And I'll show you a graph for that here shortly. But I think that's we've seen a really intense year because of the pandemic. But as the pandemic scare goes away, I think price appreciation is going to taper off as well. Another important figure or a thing to think about is mortgage rates. So if you're a buyer and you're thinking about buying a home, not sure if it's time, this might expedite your decision making, because it's predicted that mortgage rates are going to go up. And even in the last few weeks, we've seen mortgage rates go back up above 3%. And it's projected to do that through next year. So we could get into the high 3% percentile for mortgage rates as far as interest rates. That's important for you to consider as a buyer. Because as the interest rate goes up, your purchasing power goes down. And compare that with home values going up, as they will continue to do so, and it has a compounding effect. So if you're thinking about buying, it's a good idea to consider that, because it might make you get into the market sooner so that you can get into a home and get more home for your money if you're going to be financing. And then also you'll experience, a year or two from now, significant price appreciation in the home that you bought. So you get some good return on your investment. This is also important for sellers to consider as well, because if you're looking to sell your home and you want the most amount of buyers to be looking at your home, it would be a good idea to sell your home sooner rather than later, just because as those interest rates go up, it creates a smaller pool of buyers that could potentially purchase your home. So something to consider about for buyers and sellers with regards to mortgage rates. Now, home sales are very difficult to forecast. If we look at the national data, this chart shows the total number of sales. If you look at the blue line there, 2019, that was more of a normal market. That was pre-COVID. That was when the market was starting to normalize. Inventory was increasing continuously. Buyers were kind of pushing back. So homes weren't selling at 100% of list price. Homes were staying on the market a little bit longer. And so that's why we saw this kind of straight line across. But then 2020 hit. We saw that typical rise in the early spring, late winter. But then it went significantly down. When usually we see, the chart would be up here. But it went down because the market all but shut down. Here in northern Colorado, we were told for about a good month and a half that we couldn't even have showings. And so there were virtual showings and other things like that to allow people to show the market what their home looked like. That had a significant impact on the real estate market. But as soon as they relaxed some of those guidelines and the lockdown, the market trended upward, as you can see here. and then it just shot up. Normally it would go down in the fall, but it's gone significantly up last fall into the winter and into the spring. It was like the longest spring market we've ever had. So home values continued to appreciate. There was significant demand from buyers, and offers were coming in on just about any home that hit the market. And we saw that trend continue into this year. As you can see, this green line, this is as far as we've come. We have seen some pushback from buyers. I will say that some homes get a lot of attention, especially if they're priced right for that market, especially if they've got upgrades and updates to that home and it's a nice looking home, it's move-in ready. But homes that aren't very nice, they don't have any upgrades, they're outdated, they don't have recent updates with mechanicals or kitchens and those kinds of things. Those homes aren't getting sold right away. So we're seeing homes stay on the market a little bit that are in that condition, and even some price reductions have been necessary in some cases. So that's what we're starting to see as we trend here into the fall market. But again, no shortage of demand, as we'll see, and inventory is still significantly low. So based on that graph and moving forward, as we see this quote here from Diana Olick, she's CNBC's real estate correspondent. She quotes, "Fall is usually the start of the slower season for the housing market, but nothing is usual in today's pandemic-driven housing market. Potential home buyers are seeing a slight rise in inventory and consequently rushing back into the fray. Mortgage applications to purchase a home jumped 7% last week from the previous week, and that is the highest level since April of this year." So buyer demand is still there. We'll see what happens in this market. Inventory, again, is still significantly low. Now, based on that information, we got high demand, low inventory, the estimated home price performance, we're still going to see price appreciation. And this is just an estimate from Pulsenomics, if I pronounce that correctly. But 2021, we've seen, and this is an average across the nation, we saw a significant increase in price appreciation or home value, up 11.74% for the year of 2021. 2022, it'll start to taper off. I think we're going to see some continued pushback from buyers. They're not going to pay that much for a home, so we should see a trend, a downward trend. Not that homes are going to lose value, but the appreciation is going to slow down. And as you can see here in this graph, through 2025, we should see about 3 to 4% price appreciation across the board. Now, again, this is a national, based on national data, and it's just an estimate. Depending on your neighborhood and where you're at and which market you're in, these numbers could be completely different. But I think overall, what I want to point out is that the estimate is that home values are going to trend downward. Again, not a loss, but it's just going to go down. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our local markets, and we'll start with Boulder County. This is all from the IRIS MLS. So these are based on actual sales in the local MLS. And as we can see here, it's a similar trend that we've seen, in recent months. New listings, not a whole lot of them. Pending sales are slightly down. But what I want you to look at here for Boulder County, the average sales price is up almost 12%. The median sales price is up 11.4%. Percent of list price received, that's up 1.6% from this time last year. So homes are still selling above list price, at or above list price on average. Now compare that to August, last month's data, they were at 101.4%. So not much of a change. So that basically shows that demand is still strong in Boulder County overall. Inventory of homes for sale is down 37%. And the month supply of inventory is about 1 month, compared to last month, or August, was about 0.9 months. So not a significant change, but still it shows that inventory is low across the board in Boulder County. Now we'll look at Larimer County. Similar data, a significant decrease in new listings. Move down here to the average sales price, that's up about 10.2%. Median sales price is up 11.2%. Homes are still selling above list price, 101.5%. Compared that to August of this year when they were selling at 102.4%. So market is a little bit hotter in August compared to September, but still homes are selling above list price, and that again shows or is reflective of high buyer demand. Month supply of inventory is 0.9 months, and that's exactly what it was in August. So inventory has still remained low in Larimer County. And then looking at Weld County, Again, similar data. Closed sales are down, new listings are down, and the median and average sales price is up. And again, that just shows high buyer demand. That upward growth in price for homes is because of that high demand and low inventory. Percent of list price received is 101.4%. That's down from 102.5% that we saw in August. But again, it still reflects high buyer demand. Inventory is down 40% across Weld County. And the month supply of inventory is 0.8 months. As you can see here on this chart, it was 1.4 months supply of inventory this time last year. And then August showed us month supply of inventory was 0.7. So a slight uptick, but not significant. Again, it just reflects low inventory across the market. I did want to highlight some important information here. Longmont, this is where my office is. We're still seeing low inventory, 0.7 month supply of inventory. And then as you can see here, homes are selling at about 101.4% of their original list price. And the average sales price in Longmont is $658,000. That's up 14% from September of 2020. Median sales price is also up 14.7% to $545,000. So we can see a lot of activity in Longmont. There's high demand, very low inventory, and as such, these average and median sales prices have gone up. I did want to point out Estes Park. This is one of the local mountain markets. I do some activity here as well. And the average sales price in Estes Park was just over $1 million. Now, I will say, and that's up 70.7% from last year at this time. I will say that that's based on 20 sales. So, of course, when you have that low of a number of sales, all it takes is one transaction to skew that number. But still, I think that's reflective of the fact that home values in Estes Park have gone up significantly. So that is what's going on in the market. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. I'd be glad to help you. No obligation. I just want to inform you as far as things real estate, whether you're buying or selling a home, and making sure that you're fully informed so that you can make the best decisions moving forward. I look forward to working with you soon. Don't hesitate to get in touch. Take care.